house.
Yeah, my mic on y'all can hear me.
Sex, drugs, money, and murder, my nigga. You know how we get it, my nigga. Still be painting them bitches, my nigga. Ripping that roll, fucking your bitches. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. 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 Niggas, they never gon' hurt you. Niggas, they never will hurt you. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. Sex, drugs, money, and murder.
Got the traps right, understand how to get that. Ran down on them niggas with they flip back. Knew I never seen none of nigga live like that. I was still getting stacks back. Had to fuck around getting them packs back. Niggas.
All right. Yeah, salute. Haas, what's good, man?
Salute.
How you doing, big bro? I know you got a lot to say. Big bro. So I'm gonna let you, speak what you gotta speak, because I know you came to talk to the people, man. So I'm gonna let you build first.
Well, I'm gonna introduce my people, my family, coming in, I got my man Raw Murder from Philly. You know what I mean?
Yo, I'm in the building.
All right. What's up, baby? How you?
Good.
That's a good brother right there. And we got my man Big Supreme Wolf. You know what I mean? From the Bronx. All right. And then, we got my man the Answer. He's from the Bronx. What's up? What's up, the Answer? All right. So, and we here to build today. We here to build, we here to build on, what I'm saying? Everybody, we gonna see hip hop. And you know what I mean? We're gonna build on what's going on in our communities and what we want to see better going on in our communities. What we see going on in our communities. You know what I mean? So, if y'all wanna go ahead and start off with a freestyle, go ahead.
Yeah, I ain't got no. Yeah. So what's good? Is downstairs? Downstairs. I got 2 more songs. I got a lot of more just like y'all.
Y'all can hear me?
Yo,
y'all can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Haas. Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Everybody can hear me?
Yeah, we go.
I want to take a freestyle. Y'all want to just go on the topic first.
Freestyle.
I just want to go on the topic. Yeah. Well, the topic of the night, what's going on in your community? You know what I mean? And we can start off with you, Ron, because you coming from Philly. You know what I mean?
Say it again. I can hear you kind of choppy.
What's going on in your community? What's going on out there in Philly? You know what I mean?
Right now,
A little bit.
it's a lot. It's a lot of chaos going on right now. You know what I'm saying they got everything with the COVID crisis and between the vaccine and the school systems and just the streets and the cops and all over the board is real corrupted right now. So a lot of people is like going crazy, literally on the streets. A lot of people doing crazy things. There's no real support from the hospitals or nothing. There's a lot of people that's dying. A lot of people that feel like the hospitals are killing them. There's people that's scared to go to the hospital right now. So it's crazy right now.
That's kind of what's going on out here. Now when we talk about that situation, we got called the pandemic. You know what I mean? But that's kind of the same thing that's going on out here. It's kind of like lawlessness. That's what that's the word on the street and the word on the news. You know what I mean? That there's a lot of it. You know what I mean? And we need to know. That's why we need to communicate, because what happens is things are only going to get worse. You know what I mean? Things was bad before this situation happened, and things are going to get worse. And that's why we're here tonight, because we're here tonight to start creating some dialogue, so we can start creating some solutions. You know what I mean? We need to start creating some solutions in our community in terms about and stop waiting on other people to to be the solution and be the change that we want to see. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm thinking, Bulletz Gotti done brought us all here together so that we could build and we could talk about what's going on in our communities. You know what I'm saying, and trying to strengthen it. You know what I mean? Trying to strengthen what's going on in our communities and be the change, because if we don't like if we were suffering before, you know what I mean, things are going to get gravely more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? As we go on, and we need to be prepared. We need to be proactive instead of reactive. You know what I'm saying? And as the people, you know what I'm saying, primarily we reactive. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing. People scared to go into the hospital. You know what I mean? There's a lot of crime. Crime is up. There's an uptick in crime. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things going on in the neighborhood. Everyone's afraid of each other. You know what I mean? And we need some understanding. We need some understanding and some dialogue amongst the people, so we can, so we can create. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we grabbed Big Brother Wolf is here. You know what I'm saying? So we can, keep us understanding about, about the health. You know what I mean? About the health and what's going on and how we need to maintain our health and how we can better maintain our health, especially in this time of crisis. You know what I mean? Big Brother Wolf.
Yeah, what's going on? Well, I wrote down a couple of things that came to my concern. Not only did I hear things, but I was part of it. I didn't know any better. I was born into it. So I dedicated about 18 years to figure out why we're in the situation we're in. So what I got here today is the unhealthy eating habits in the Black community. So I'm going to keep it real with the people. I was at ebony.com, Ebony magazine, and they would also get right into it. On the state of obesity, about 47% of us are obese, 52% of whites. If you think about that, when you go back to slavery, we ate the food, the leftover scraps from the white master. There was no nutritional value. They gave us the parts of animals that weren't very good. And on top of that, we fried them. We fried these animals. We were hydrated. They were eating a lot of vegetables because the Gambia didn't have access to nutrition, which is vitamins, minerals. You need these things for your nervous system. So at this point, if we don't eat, right, you won't be able to be free because you have to think before you can move. Your stomach is your second brain. It's the second brain. Keep the alcohol wrong. If you eat fried food, eat it once a week. Once a week, cheat day.
Right.
Stay active. We're also not active. Not working out unless we get locked up. Then we want to come home, swole up. But when we get home, we're not working out. So stress eats you. You end up snapping, going right back to the can. That's the vicious cycle.
Right.
First, what happens? You look for food. You look for food every day. What I'm gonna eat? Then you don't eat right. You bug out.
Right.
You bug out. Then you're in the back of the cop car, and they give you soybean products when you go to jail. Take away the top.
Right.
That's the whole. Every time it's a full moon, you out there, you on the hunt. Naturally, and you bug out, go into the game. Take that woman, how to cook good, you feed her good, that's straight. But don't be in them streets hungry, disrespecting women. You'll eat it. You know what I'm saying? Or if ain't got no, you chef it up yourself. But this is what it's about: eating and thinking for tomorrow. That's all I want to say.
Exactly. And you know what? That goes up to my man Ron. My man Ron out there in Philly, they got he got a line of a juice drink. Right, Ron?
Yeah, I got a juice company. It's called Philly Fruit. It's called Philly Fruit. And I'm saying it got fruit in it. It got a little bit of sugar in it, but I also got diabetical ones with no sugar. It's more natural than anything. I'm in like 20 stores right now around the city. So yeah, I'm just starting Black-owned businesses for the community, trying to break generational curses, financial wealth, trying to put my peoples on. I also deal with people that do CMOS. I work with the CMOS. One of my other partners got a alkaline water company called Pretty Little Alkies. So we definitely big on trying to bring health, make health cool in the community. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. That's right. I appreciate that. And that's what we need. We need to start understanding that health is wealth. And that we need to start understanding that it affects, you know what I'm saying, how we interact. It affects our mental health as well. You know what I mean? So we need to understand, you know what I'm saying, the importance of health and, you know what I'm saying, and our diet. Not just, you know what I'm saying, you know, exercise, but also our diet along with it. You know what I mean? Hey, good brother Lee. The answer. What's up, baby? You can hear us? The answer. You can hear us?
I think he's driving, huh?
Okay, all right. What you think, Bulletz? How you feel about the health in our community?
I think it comes from what we put in our bodies. You know what I'm saying? The food we eat is just like the liquor we drink. You know what I'm saying? Like when we pick up a liquor or the food we eat, I'm gonna keep it real. It has a lot to do with our subconscious mind. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, a lot of the violence, a lot of the stuff that be going on in the community, it comes from what we eating, what we put in our body, the toxins. You know what I'm saying? We putting a lot of toxins in our body. And not only that, we drinking a lot of toxins. So when you drinking a lot of toxins, you eating a lot of toxins, you just doing it, your whole body just got a lot of toxins in it, you're gonna have that toxic energy. So at the end of the day, we gotta really drain that out of our subconsciousness and our bodies and basically deal with eating healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Staying drug free, staying alcohol free, and start eating the right things. And I'm telling you, we have better results, man. And we keep putting that Chinese food in us, that fast food in us, all that stuff that got them GMOs and all that, that's killing us, the pesticide and all that. We start putting that stuff in our bodies, man. We got a lot of toxins coming in and out. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta really like check that.
And you know, Brother Wolf can't hear you. Yo, Bullets, Brother Wolf can't hear you.
Oh, he couldn't hear me?
No, he couldn't hear you.
Oh, I might.
But you know what?
Let me come back.
He couldn't hear you. But I'm gonna put it to you like this: what he was explaining, our brother Wolf, he was agreeing with you everything you were saying in terms about what we put in the body with the alcohol. He was basically agreeing with you. You know what I mean? In terms about what we put up. He was basically agreeing. He was what I'm saying. He's piggybacking with what you said, and and the piggyback of what you said also as well is also what we put here in our mind. You know what I mean? We have to make sure that that we start dealing with some type of some form of spirituality. You know what I mean? Because the spirit that's what's going to help us deal with the reality. You know what I mean? The fact that I'm saying much of our community doesn't deal with spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Is part of the reason why. You know what I'm saying? That's another component of what distorts our behavior and prevents us from working together and actually getting the best out of life that we need. So we also have to interject some type of spirituality what we eat and what we think is of key importance of how we move. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? And you know what? And that's the same whether in Harlem, the Bronx, Philly, DC, Atlanta. It doesn't matter where you at, in our community. You know what I'm saying? That we have to start understanding, the components that that's helping us create us to deteriorate. See, we're deteriorating as a people, and we don't understand it. You know what I mean? We're deteriorating mind, body, and soul. The very things that you need to keep whole. Mind, body, and soul, you need to keep those things whole so you can move forward. But the very thing that we need to move forward with, we're not cultivating. And we have to cultivate that.
Hey,
so what's up? You know what I'm saying? What's up, baby?
Hey, Haas, you can hear me now?
I can hear you.
You can hear me now? Yeah,
you sound much better.
All right.
You sound much better.
All right.
I'm still here.
All right, so like I was saying, Haas, like the stuff that we eating, it's toxic. You know what I'm saying? The fast food, the Chinese food, all that stuff that we eating, all this that we getting from the supermarkets, pesticide, GMOs, all that all that stuff is the toxins that's going in our bodies. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The steroids in the chicken. All this is toxins going in our body. And then you got, like I said, the alcohol, the drugs and all that. That's all going in our bodies. So all that toxin that's going in our bodies is getting is really having it's really having an effect on our mental. You know what I'm saying? And we getting it's a lot of toxins going in our brain. And now with the toxins going in our brain, we going and do the wrong things out here. You know what I'm saying? And we start cleaning and we start detoxing our bodies and we start doing what our ancestors was doing, eating fish, eating clean. You know what I'm saying? We start eating clean and we start eating right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have better results, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's the way we eat. You know what I'm saying? We start juicing more. Like that's why I say I salute the brothers when they talk about the juice bars. A lot of us need to start juicing more. You know what I'm saying? We need to start doing a lot of that because we don't need to pick up liquor and smoke and do all that type of stuff that's messing with our body. A lot of the drugs they selling out here is garbage, man. They selling stuff that's really messing with the brain, with the mental.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
so it's like you gotta really be careful.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, cigarettes have like 5,000 chemicals in it. You know, I smoke cigarettes. You know, I smoke cigarettes, but I'm on a different level. I mean, you know, I want to detox, and that's the thing I want to bring up. How when the Spaniards and the whites had encountered the Native Americans, they did not know what alcohol was. They didn't know alcohol. When they had that war, you have to think about it, right? If somebody gave you some antidote, some PCP, you never had PCP. You smoke it, you start bugging out. You know, you start somebody or something like that. Now you don't know these people, so now your whole crew go to war. Or because they gave you something, they've been smoking. They've been was able to metabolize that. So the whites had gave niggas alcohol. And they lost their land, they lost everything. And to this day, they give us casinos and they gave us liquor stores. You know what I'm saying? They built foundations. They didn't know they didn't know nutrition anymore. Yo, they took that money right back from them. Took that land right back from them. And they did the same thing to us. We own the businesses. They gave us poison and they take it with us. They say, look at us, we take it too. But they got the freaking formula. They have the formula. They'll puff it with you, drink it with you, and then they have the cure. It's like COVID. They have the vaccine for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not healthy, you're not on point, they're not going to save your life. They're not going to They're going to pull that plug. So I smoke cigarettes. It's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's 5,000 chemicals. There's even methamphetamine inside cigarettes. The teeth start to fall out.
Wow.
You got lead that's in there, aluminum. You got a lot of heavy metals inside of tobacco smoke and the tobacco leaves for the photo leaves and all that other stuff. You got a whole bunch of metals in that stuff. So the detox from heavy metals is very, very important. You're gonna need nitrogen, you're gonna need potassium, you're gonna need calcium, you're gonna need phosphorus. You know, you get that from spinach, you get that from kale. You had what you call Operation Popeye in 1975. You know, they had a monsoon season in Vietnam. That monsoon season, the weather modification system had made it rain over there for about 9 months because they knew that the war was hiding in the hiding in the forest, it was hiding in the jungle. So they made it rain, you know, they messed up all their crops, all their little bunkers they was hiding in to scam soldiers. So long story short, the U.S. troops had found a way to survive. They stumbled upon a garden of kale only. And these guys, they ate nothing but kale. And they was about the drought of the food while the other soldiers had died out. So, you know, you want to detox from heavy metals, from any poison toxins, kale is better. And my brother right here, Ron Murder, you know, you got the best connection ever, sea moss. Sea moss is number 1 on the list. If you can't get to the sea moss, but sea moss is number 1 on that list.
Amen. Yeah, well, you know, and that's and that's what we hear. You know what I mean? To start, so we can start bringing this information to our community. You know what I mean? Because this is the most important thing. You know what I mean? You know, we got a lot of information floating around in our community but we need the information that's going to help our community. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why, I'm glad that, we all together on this table format, this platform, you know what I'm saying, speaking on, you know what I'm saying, as brothers, people from the community, speaking up about what needs to be done. Because, what happens is that, I've seen alcohol kill people. I've seen, you know what I mean, our people destroying each other through this very thing we talk about, through eating, through alcoholism, through cigarettes, through various things. You know what I mean? These different variations, and it hurts us. It destroys us in the long run. In the beginning, they were crutch. You know what I'm saying? They're a crutch for anxiety. They're a crutch for anger. They're a crutch for all these other different things. But in the long run, they be the death of you. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you realize, as soon as you get over that crutch, and you ready to live life. You know what I mean? What ends up happening now, you know what I'm saying? Now you're dealing with trying to keep your health alive. You know what I'm saying? Once you finally got a handle on life, now you got a health battle to fight. You know what I mean? So what happens is that, we have to let you know now that, you know what I'm saying, that you're going to live, you know what I'm saying, and to live right. And these are the ways to live right. You know what I mean? And to come to you as the people, to talk to you as you. You know what I'm saying? Not talk at you, to tell you that we love you and we here to support you. We all here to support each other. You know what I mean? Because that's what we need in the black community. We need love. You know what I mean? We need love, wisdom, understanding, peace. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We need to appreciate each other. You know what I'm saying? And the most important thing we need to do is to love being black. You know what I'm saying? We need to love the skin we in. You know what I mean? We need to love that. Everybody doesn't have to be a scholar. Everybody doesn't have to be a mathematician. Everybody doesn't have to know every black historical fact. You know what I mean? But what we all need to do is to love the fact that we black, because we all have a connection. Everybody on this planet is related. We all go back to the motherland, to Monotopia, to Al-Kibulan. So you know what I'm saying, what's better known as Africa. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? So, we all have a connection there. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is that with that connection to that land is also connected to the Creator. You know what I mean? Because this is the land, you know what I'm saying, when they first, thought it had the concept of a God, where God came from. You know what I mean? The reason why we're here. So, you know what I'm saying? We both have to be thankful, you know what I'm saying, for our ancestors and the Creator. That every day gives us signs and signs to let us know that, to keep the faith. You know what I'm saying? That don't let your faith wane. And a lot of, one thing we have to do is understand that, the world is not going to be easy. You know what I mean? But you have to remain on your square. You have to stand on your square. You have to be flexible yet remainable. You know what I'm saying? You can't let this world change you. You know what I mean? And that's what we're here today. You know what I'm saying? So we can build. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? Because by changing yourself, that's how you change the world. You know what I mean? By developing yourself, by developing your intellect, by developing your health. It's your heart and your mind that you got to keep in line. So that's what we're here tonight, to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, that the brothers and sisters out here, they keep their heart and mind in line. You know what I mean? Because, what happens is that, we watching too many of all our people, the elders, the youth, everyone, you know what I'm saying? We losing everyone right now. You know what I'm saying? And we losing them before their time. So, you know what I'm saying? We have to work together, you know what I'm saying, to make a wholesome community. And before we even talk about the pandemic was bothering us, it's the fact that we got a lot of negativity in our community. We don't support each other. You know what I mean? We don't look at each other with any love or any compassion. We don't exercise any empathy amongst each other. And that's the first thing we have to have. Because then that's why, you know what I'm saying, we have to understand that we're all going through the same things, no matter what city we in. You know what I mean? And that's why we thankful to brother Ron Murray, you know what I'm saying, and here from Philly, because no matter what city we in, no matter what part of the neighborhood, no matter what block, we all experiencing poverty. Some of us experience poverty at different forms than the other. At different, the burden is more greater. But we all experiencing poverty. And if we want to get out of poverty, we all going to have to work together to get out of it. Because we didn't create poverty. You know what I'm saying? Poverty is something that's created. And it's something that's created in our communities. And you know what I'm saying? And it's saturated in our communities. And there's a reason why we can't get out. And part of the reason, and one of the most important issues of the situation is this, is that, like we talk about now about creating wealth. You know what I'm saying? This is something that we should have been doing many years ago, but we're doing it now. So it's excellent that we keep it on our tongues, but it can't be a trend. You know what I mean? We got a lot of things in our community that come in and go out. You know what I mean? And we don't want to let this now that we talk about creating wealth, because to create wealth, then we got to cooperate with each other. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to cooperate with each other as a community because we're going to have to practice group economics. You know what I'm saying? Group economics is just going to allow us to be able to create generational wealth. So how are we going to be able to create group economics? The only way we're going to be able to create group economics is if we start working together. If we start making sure that these dollars circulate inside the Black community. And that's of the utmost importance. What you got to say about that, Gotti?
No, bro, and we need the older people to start guiding the young people. We need them to start speaking up. Stop letting the young people do whatever.
That's right. I'm glad you said that. The answer. That's why you had the answer, and that's the truth. And that's why I'm here today. You know, I'm here to apologize to the youth for the examples. You know what I'm saying? Not saying specifically me or what I've done. You know what I'm saying? But what the people that look like me have done. You know what I mean? The people in your community that disrespected your mother, the people that look like me that disrespected you, the people in your community that, you know what I'm saying, that didn't show you any love, that haven't shown you any nurturing, because that's where I come from. And I come from these cold streets in New York. You know what I mean? And when I came up in these streets, you know what I'm saying, especially when we was amongst each other, we had some kind of respect. And we lost that respect. So, you know what I'm saying, we got to show that respect back. You know what I mean? So I'm not here to condemn anything with the youth. I'm here to salute the youth, you know what I'm saying, because I have nothing but respect for y'all, because it's our place to show y'all something. You know what I mean? Instead of just talk. You know what I mean? And the answer, you already know. Wolf, you already know. Even you, Murder, you already know. I walk it like I talk it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I walk it like I talk it. You know what I mean? You know, this ain't for TV. You follow what I'm saying? I walk it like I talk it. Ron, when we met me, I was on the streets of Philly, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you came through by yourself. Came to the hood, North Philly. All the way to North Philly.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? Jewels on and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
With no, you know what I'm saying? With no fear. And I try to say, I said, check it out, baby. I said, when you got something to do, just leave me in the hood. I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I ended up on 17th and Erie. I ended up with some young brothers on 17th and Erie. You know what I mean? And I was rocking and rolling with them young brothers, man, you know? And let me tell you something. We got stopped by the police, right? So we got stopped by the police. And yo, but I had the Philly Word magazine on me. So I pulled out the Philly Word magazine. I was like, yo, I'm talking to the young brothers, Yo, the police finned off. I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And I rock with them brothers all for the rest of the if I left Black and Noble. Yeah. Because remember, you dropped me off at Black and Noble. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? And I vibe with them. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying?
Because real recognize real, man. Real recognize real, man. Yeah, you know how to move through these streets, man. Because you can tell when you genuine and you ain't about no games.
Exactly. And one thing I realized when I was out there, it's the same everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's the same everywhere. Yo, when I was in Philly, I thought I was in New York, 1985. I swear to you not, man. I felt at home, man. I felt like I went back in a time machine. You know what I mean? I really did, man. I felt at home. You know what I mean? And that's what we gotta realize, that, you know what I'm saying? Once you amongst your people, you at home, you good. You follow what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing to fear. You follow what I'm saying? Especially if you ain't a sucker. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't coming here to spread nothing but love. I came here for love. And that's all I got back. You know what I'm saying? All I got back was love. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying? And you know what? And that's what I'm here to spread tonight. I'm here to spread nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? And we come from the tough streets, so our message might sound a little different, but it ain't nothing but love. You follow what I'm saying? And that's what we here for. You know what I mean? And that's why we got to, like I said, we got to thank Bulletz Gotti, because, you know what I'm saying? He the youth. You know what I'm saying? He the youth. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? We got to respect them because they making moves. You know what I'm saying? And we got to support them. You know what I'm saying? We got to support them. They make just like you making moves with Philly Fruit. You follow what I'm saying? We got to support that. We need that in every store in across America. We need that in every store across the world, just like Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about up the East Coast. We ain't talking about, we need to cross the world. You know why? Because guess what? It started with a thought. You know what I'm saying? And it started with the heart. And it started from love. You follow what I'm saying? And once you make something right, when you make something like that, can't nobody stop it. You know what I'm saying? You know, some people say the God be the glory. Some people say all praises due to Allah, but you understand? So what God got for you, can't nobody stop. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I salute you, brother. I salute you. You follow what I'm saying? Because what happens is that you walking by faith and not by sight. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with us. We keep walking by what we see. You know what I'm saying? What you see will fool you. You know what I mean? When I was in the night, when I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, there was no law in New York City. You know what I mean? The police pick and choose what they want to be bothered with. Crime ruled the streets. I used to think crime pays. You know what I'm saying? But I realize it's only a loan because you got to pay it back. Because when you sit behind the walls, you got to pay it back. You follow what I'm saying? When you sitting there worrying about your child, you sitting there worrying about your mother, she alive walking these streets, you got to pay it back. You follow what I'm saying? So it's only a loan. You know what I mean? And you only work for this world what you give to this world. You know what I mean? That's what you work for this world. You know what I mean? And you know, and the answer, you know, say you know it too, brother. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no faking in me. You follow what I'm saying? Everybody on this panel know ain't no faking in me. And you know what I'm saying? And I dedicate my life to try to help my people, man. I'm dedicated. This is what it's about, man. You know what I mean? Because what else is it to do?
Bro, one thing I think like
good brother Wolf.
You can hear me?
Look, you see this? You see this here?
Yeah.
That's a pipeline. That's a diagram for a pipeline.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And basically what I'm trying to say that we all need to, the ones who can, we all need to set up a pipeline. Meaning a trustee. You gotta trust your own doctor. You trust the weed man, right? You know what I'm saying? I trust this. This ain't no crazy shit.
Right.
I trust it. You go get your weed, you go home. Now you got to start trusting the doctors. You got to start trusting your nurses. You got to start trusting your warriors. You got to start trusting your people to play a certain position. If we all play our position, then we got a strong pipeline. If you know, every city, every block, it all starts at home. If we build these support systems, I'm here. I'm a doctor, man. I treat anybody. You know, I don't turn anybody away. I've been in the books, and I'm pretty sure there's people who do electricity. We are beautiful and gifted people. You know, all I gotta do is what we're doing now is talk. I'm from North York. You gotta see me. You know what I'm saying? You need any medical information. You need to learn about how to get in shape, how to add years on your life. You got cancer, whatever it is, diabetes. You know, I got the formula. I'm talking about go to the supermarket formula. Go to the supermarket. There is no, I don't have to shoot you with anything. I cook it up for you. I show you how to cook it up. You eat that, you follow this, and you will be well, no matter what it is. That's what I do. You know, you got Hasaan, he's a beautiful brother, historian, man. This guy, man, listen. If you ever was wanting to know the truth about Hasaan, man, he blessed me with a book, you know, years ago that changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we got very, very important. Murder got the juice bar going on. You go in there, and you come out clean.
Right.
You come out clean. You know what I'm saying? We got to start trusting each other and build this pipeline. All we got to do is stand in our own square. As Tom said, we stand in our square, we serve, cop and go. You already know, cop and go.
That's right.
And I want to add on to what you were saying.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what?
Yeah, I want to hear from I appreciate that, Big Wolf. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you can hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, guys, we can drop it. Drop your answer. Drop it.
One thing like I feel that I really helped that too, that we should speak on a lot more too, is the fact when people will be like, oh, well, you know, I ain't have nothing, or it was hard for me. So like, oh, what that mean? Just let me wander off and let me be stranded because you ain't have nobody. You keep letting the youth and it go generation after generation. You keep telling the same story. Oh, I ain't have nothing. Well, I ain't have help. We need to stop doing that and actually be helping. Because then everybody said it like that. And then everybody becomes selfish and nobody want to help nobody.
Exactly.
Like
and that's
that'll help all that come together.
No, and you're right. And that's what we gotta attack right there, because that's self-hate. You understand what I'm saying? Let me explain something to you. When you can look at your brother all day and want to hurt him for some minor infraction, you know what I mean? For whatever the case may be, You know what I mean? And actually go act out on that and minor infraction, and that caused physical violence to him. You know what I mean? But as soon as you hear the sirens, and as soon as you see the lights, you are no longer violent. You're a victim of conditioned reflex. You are exercising self-hate. You follow what I'm saying? And what happens is that we have to understand, we have to identify these issues. You know what I mean? We have to identify them so we can eradicate them. You know what I'm saying? So we can obviate them. You follow what I'm saying? So this is why we sitting here tonight, and this is why the answer, especially you, we need to hear your voice. You know what I mean? We might not see you tonight, baby, but guess what? We need to hear your voice, man. We need to hear that, because this is what's going on, and you on the streets. You know what's going on. And it's your world, it's your time, and you know what I'm saying. We gotta hear what you gotta say to tell us what we need to do. You heard?
Nah, that's a fact. I feel you, bro. But yeah, I definitely feel like those points are the main points that have really helped bring things together. And it'd be crazy because support, it'd be free. Like, you don't gotta put money into none of it. You ain't gotta do none of that. It's free. Like, it's click of a button. Like, even with
exactly
the show, people join in. It ain't taking nothing but a little bit of time. Usually people ain't doing nothing anyway. So it's like,
right.
Like, that's gonna help the community. Like,
right. And you know what? I want to stress right now, especially since we got the attention of the young people. If you don't like what you see in your community, go to your community board. Go to your community board meetings. Stress what you don't like seeing on your community, and organize yourself at the community board. Don't just go there shouting and this, that, and the other. Have an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Pick a speaker. You know what I mean? And, you know what I'm saying? Have your points in your outline. Yep. If you need some help with it, I will help you with it. What's up?
Yo.
Hey, how you know what I think? A lot of times that, like you said, we need to start going to more of these community meetings, because we start knowing what they're doing with our community. We go to these meetings. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. There's people that don't look like us that's at those meetings, and they take the information that's in the music. We don't know. We blind. It's like the blind leading the blind, going in a blind situation, and we don't know what's going on in the community. So we don't know they coming in. We don't know they coming to take what's ours, and basically we left out there in the cold. And then when they start coming and start cleaning up, and then you start seeing our youth getting took to them prisons, you know what I'm saying? It's because we ain't doing our job going to these community meetings, getting hip to the game. Like you said, you got to get hip to the game, man, and go to these community meetings, man. There's a lot of things, the plans that they got, we don't know what they doing with the community. We don't know unless we go and see what's going on.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, yo, let me ask you a question. Yo, Ron Murder, let me ask you a question.
Yo, yeah.
Out there in Philly, do y'all got a problem with the K2? Y'all might call it something different. With the fake weed, with the fake weed out there.
Yeah, the K2. Yeah, they call it Tukey right now.
Okay.
But
we got a problem with that out here.
It's not as big as it was like a couple years ago, but it's still around. Like, people be smoking it. Like, people that's like on probation or something be trying to smoke it because they say it don't come up in a yard, but it be driving people crazy. Like, that joint be having people going crazy.
Exactly. That's exactly what we we're seeing here. And then what happens is that we're seeing that throughout the city. You go to Bushwick and murder. I mean, you go to Broadway and murder. Excuse me, Broadway and murder. That's Zombie Land. You go to 149 and Melrose. That's Zombie Land. Now they just destroyed Zombie Land on 125th and Lexington because they destroyed the pathmark there. So that's how when they want to get rid of you, they just destroy the whole building. They destroy the whole building. Now you can't even stand over the construction there now. You know what I mean? So what happens is that, you know what, they got a system of getting rid of us. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, it's too many of our youth and out there. You know what I'm saying? All ages. smoking that stuff. It's like Angel does.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's the same way Angel was dust, you know what I'm saying, 40 years ago, however long it was. You know what I'm saying? It's the same exact results. And you know what I'm saying? The same, you know, and we need to, you know what I'm saying? And why is this prevalent in our community, all our communities? You know what I mean? You in Philly, you know what I'm saying? They got it. They got it in DC. And all these different black communities, they got it. And everywhere the people smoking it, they start, because it costs $1. You know what I mean? It costs $1.
Yeah, you can get it at like the gas station and all that. You get it at the regular stores and stuff.
Exactly.
You know what can help that? You know what you just said, man. Multiculturalism. You know, that's on the agenda. You know, Agenda 21, globalism. At the end of the day, we all got our own cultures. We all have our own cultures. You say, yo, I want the drill music, yo, I want the trap music. Yo, you know what? I listen to this type of rock. We all in our own culture. We have our own lingo. We have our own way of doing things. However, what the global agenda is pushing is multicultural. Yo, you have to learn other cultures. You can't just be like, yo, this is me. This is all I know. It's all I want. And that's a major problem with our people, especially, you know, blacks on the bottom of the list of need credit to buy land. You need credit to for loans. You need credit for all kinds of to start your business. You might need a loan. You know what I'm saying? So we need credit, but we don't want to learn that language of finance. Like, oh, what's finance? Economics.
Right.
I ain't messing with that. I don't want nobody. You know, most of the whites own most of the wealth because they have the credit. But the Asians have number one people who have the credit. And they are purchasing all kind of land. You know, they trying to take them out
Exactly.
Wall Street, but they know what it is. You know, we have to definitely not be afraid to learn another language. It doesn't have to be Spanish.
Exactly.
You have finance, you have electricity, you have bio, you have botany, you have so many other languages. It's not, you know, it's culture. Don't be afraid to learn this because, like I said, globalism is coming. It's going to be big, and if you're not on it, yo, you're going to be in a shack, somewhere. That's it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's not to cut you off. That's one thing that I'm learning myself now that I'm doing the business is like, damn, this is like really another world of, like you said, language and stuff that we not familiar with, and that's all the loopholes and stuff that they use to keep us from having generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? And just me doing the juices and getting in different stores, I'm like in business with the Chinese people and all the Spanish people and all that. So like it's really opening my eyes to a lot of things. I'm gaining a lot of different knowledge through that and understanding like what's really going on. Cause they be letting me know like behind the scenes what's going on and how the government really like have all the different races really not fuck with us, like really, well, not deal with us, excuse my language, but really not deal with us on a business note. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's crazy like that.
Wow. Exactly.
Yo,
and the answer, what you want to say? You want to add on to that? I can't see you.
We need. I don't know what's wrong with the video. Why it's not coming in? But I'm gonna leave back in. But I'm gonna say this real quick. We need more of them places like you see how you was at and they have computers. So people like do the application. You help them with the application, make a resume and stuff like that. We need more to do that because some people are confident wanting to get a job when they don't have. Everybody got computers.
Right.
So they can't do nothing. Some people are not a set up. So we need that type of guidance. Because they think the shit is easier when it's really not.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people is scared to ask for help. A lot of people don't know how to ask for help without feeling embarrassed. And we got to break that narrative of if you don't know, it's not nothing wrong with asking for help. And people that know got to be more willing to teach without shunning people and making people feel stupid.
Right.
Like knowledge is not cool in our community. It make you feel like if you want to learn, it's like you feel bad to want to learn. You know what I'm saying? We got to make it cool.
Right, exactly, yeah, exactly. We gotta make it cool to want to do that. Because some people think, oh, people in the hood gonna say they this, say that. Some of them get judged like they supposed to be a bad person when they want to go get a job. Like, oh, he's soft, oh, he this, he that. Like, we gotta make that be cool. The streets be so much cool.
All right.
And you right. You answer. Hey, yo, come in and out. Come back in and out so I can say. Cause I'm getting an echo. Hello?
Hey.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, yeah. So, but you know, what he's saying is correct. But what happens is that we gotta understand why is information looked at so negatively in our community. You understand? Part of it is because how we grow up. And this is not Hassaan's words. This is me summing up a book by Dr. Amos Wilson. Well, I got that echo. Hold on. You know, what happens is that Dr. Amos Wilson said this. That in the black community, we're not when the parents aren't make an environment conducive for the children to learn. Because children ask questions, children are inquisitive. You know what I mean? So every time when you ask your parents, well, what this means and what that means, and the answer is, they don't ask me, why you asking questions? Why you asking so many questions? Because you don't know the answer.
Right.
This is how we promote this lack of intellect. Because it carries on to us in adulthood. And then what happens is that we think that we're going to be able to exercise using anger and frustration to be able to get our point across. You know what I mean? But what happens is that puts us in a box. They created this box for mental illness. They say that you bipolar now, that you schizophrenic, you PTSD, and now you need a pill. But answer this question. How many people we seen pick sticks from the pills? How many people we seen with solution from the pills? So what happens is that when we going to start fixing our mental health, we just have to get to know ourselves. And the first way you get to know ourselves is through this. It's through getting through this brain. Everything enters through here. You know what I mean? Like Big Brother Wolf explained about the 12th cranial nerve. You know what I mean? And we got to understand that. I'm going to come out and go back in. Hey, Bulletz.
Yeah, Haas, I'm here, big bro.
I'm going to come back in because I'm echoing, man.
All right,
I'm going to go out and come back in.
I'm still here.
All right, we can continue to build. Yeah, but yeah, I agree with what Haas is saying. You know, like I said, man, we got liquor. You know what I'm saying? We got drugs, all type of things in the community right now. But like Haas is saying, man, we gotta get back to basically, you know, not being judgmental and helping our fellow men and our fellow brother at the end of the day. Because a lot of times, you know, we always want to point the fingers. We always want to, you know, shit on the next man. You know what I'm saying? Talk negative about the next man. But at the end of the day, that's still your brother at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's all about each one teach one. You know, and that's the problem.
Exactly.
When we got the stars back coming back. Yo, Haas.
You know what? They're afraid, man. They're afraid of the light. You know,
I'm back.
Yeah, they're afraid of the light.
They say, what's worse, a child afraid of the dark or a grown man afraid of the light? Grown men.
Wow.
When you bring the knowledge to them, when you say, yo, how you doing today, my brother? You know, you want to shake their hand. How you doing, man? Yo, what's wrong, son? What he all up on me? What's wrong with that dude? I'm punch him out. Like, that's how you respond to a person who comes up to you. You never know who it could be or who she could be. They could be trying to heal you. They could be trying to warn you about something. But just because a person with your own color skin, you know, we used to talk to each other at the bus stops. We used to talk to each other at the train station. You know, now we fighting in restaurants. We fighting at Chuck E. Cheese and stuff like that. It's like, you know, we gotta start recognizing each other again.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, all of the people that's getting killed, you don't know what they could have been. You just smoke them. They could have the cure to disease that might wipe them. You just smoke them. Boom. Like, they not worth anything,
Exactly.
you know? So we gotta stop seeing each other like that. I know the police had
Exactly. What we need is love. We need love right now. What the world needs is love.
Yeah. Yeah. Police
We need love and respect.
Feel inhuman.
That's a
No, you hear me, Hasaan? The police made us feel inhuman. Young brothers walking down the street, you in high school, junior high school, and they jumping out on you, searching you, you know, criminalizing you. You feel me? It make it hard for you to want to go to community meetings. Like,
Right.
You know, these people just waged war on them, and I ain't even seen a gun before. You know what I'm saying? This is what you have to get over. How do you forgive people hunted?
That's right.
And that's the reality.
You said it.
Huh?
You said it. You know what's funny what you just said? And you know, being my life, you know, where I live my life, you know, was a little different, but you just said that a lot of times that's the first time they saw a gun. And that's the truth. You know what I mean? I remember when I was young, I remember the police, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna go into the whole story, this, that, and other. I remember them niggas, you know, they snatched me up, they punched me in my mouth. They punched me in my mouth this time. Punched me in my mouth, took me to the back of the store, put the gun in my head. You know what I'm saying? And go ask me where the guns is at. You know what I mean? And you know, it's crazy, you know, it's like, you know, they try to scare me up and all that, but you know, I held my own, but it was just like, you know, it showed me then, you know what I mean? You know, what they was about, you know, and they haven't changed. But then, you know, as I got older, I learned that they just the working arm of a bigger system. You know what I mean? They just the working arm of a bigger system. So we got to understand that. You know what I mean? We get mad at the police. We get mad at the minions. We got to get mad at the legislators. We got to get mad at ourselves for not working together and be able to police our own communities. You know what I mean? That's what we need to be doing. That's what we need to get mad at. We need to get mad at ourselves for not changing, for being the change that we want to see in our community. You know what I mean? I'm mad at myself, so that's why I changed. You know what I mean? And that's why I live my life the way I live it. You know what I mean? And that's why I walk it the way I talk it. You know what I mean? Because nothing else is acceptable. You know? And you know, and that's what it's all about. You know, because what happens is that we see utter chaos in our communities. This is utter chaos. You know what I mean? And you know, and I come from wild. You know what I mean? But this is a different kind of wild. We wilding on each other. You know what I mean? We wilding on each other. We don't got no respect and love for each other. You know what I'm saying? We listen to the old songs like Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? It still applies to today. You know what I mean? The difference is that what's going on is that we inflicting the damage on each other. And the only way we're gonna be able to circumvent that is through the duality of life is use love. Since we're using hate, we gotta overcome it with love. You know what I mean? Because we got enough hate. We got enough anger. You know what I mean? We got enough of that. But we got a deficit of love. You know what I mean? And because we don't understand, like you said, we don't understand the language. We understand in this language, you either live in debt or you live off interest. You know what I mean? These are two, you know what I'm saying? So we in a debt situation. You know what I'm saying? We in a situation, we a day late and $1 short. So we have to change that as a people. We can't change that as an individual. We keep trying to change that as an individual. Just like you said, the Chinese, other groups of people, they work together. And we gotta work together. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We are our own worst enemies. You know what I mean? And we gotta be our best friends. You know what I mean? Because nobody gonna want to see us do it enough. When I see my people, I don't see nothing but love. I love my people, even throughout the chaos, even throughout the messiness that we see. You know, the mixiness we see. You know what I mean? I can't steal because in the back of my mind, all I see is the, you know what I'm saying, the images of Fannie Lou Hamer. You know what I'm saying? Who sacrificed so, you know what I'm saying, that we could vote, that we could have some voice in the elections. You follow what I'm saying? All I see is Gloria Richardson, you know what I'm saying, who made the March on Washington. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see. You know what I'm saying? When I watch documentaries, I see Matul Shakur, you know what I mean? And the dedication he did, you know what I mean? And all the other unsung heroes that we don't hear about. We are them. We are them now. We are the new heroes. You know what I mean? Big Wolf, Ron Murder, Bulletz Gotti, Hasaan Hagins. We the next ones. You know what I mean? Because you lead by example. You know what I mean? The U.S. Army motto is to lead by example. So don't talk it, walk it. You know what I mean? Just like the brother said, he worked with me at a program called Bronx Works. All right. Well, we need those. We need our homes to work. We need our communities to work. You know what I mean? We need our neighborhoods to work. You know what I mean? So we got to create our own jobs. You know what I mean? Because we can't be professional job getters. We got to be professional job creators. That's what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? We need to service our own needs, our community. We deal with the service population. You know what I mean? I did with workforce for many years. So did you, brother. So you know what time it is. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's time for us to start bringing the message. Because let me tell you something, we doing more effective this than we did at those programs. You know why? Because we selling self-motivation. You know what I'm saying? We showing self-determination. You know what I mean? And that's what's the key. That's the key to you know what I'm saying, to changing our situation. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And so this is what we here for. You know, Ron Murder. You know, I mean, I salute you, brother. You know what I mean? Because you know because you looked at you took a look at the world and said, you know what? There's something in me in my community, and I'm going to fill that gap. You know what I mean? We got other people filling gaps in the needs in our community, and we need to fill them ourselves. You know what I mean? You know, anything that works in our community, whether it be babysitting, whether it be whatever it may be, school, education, medicine, we need these services ourselves for that. You know what I mean? And one thing we got to stop doing, and you know, we got to stop taking our spirituality for a joke. You know what I mean? We the only ones that, you know, laugh at our spirituality. We the only ones that make clowns and joke our spirituality. This is what our people here. Our grandmamas in them. What you saw them do? You know what I mean? And what we saw them do is that's what got them through this oppression, and that's what we got to do too, because they were faced with graver conditions. You know what I mean? They were dealing with what we were dealing with right now, what we see, the racism we see right now, and dilapidated housing conditions, and even worse food. You know what I mean? And even less money. You know what I'm saying? They were dealing, you know what I mean? They were dealing with rats biting them, rats running over garbage everywhere, sanitation. That wasn't, what you know what I'm saying? You weren't bringing them sanitation. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They're sacrificing the reason why our communities are halfway decent as they do now. I ain't talking about Philly, because Philly's a rough town, baby. You know what I mean? But you know, but what we see in New York City, they come to do it to Philly. They come to do that to Philly. And that's what I saw. Because New York, what I saw in Philly, that's what was New York. Destroyed, but it was home. Harlem was not but abandoned buildings, but it was home. It was ways you could weave through the neighborhood. You could go through cut to cut. You wouldn't even have to hit the main street, hit the block. You know what I'm saying? Because you knew how to travel from block to block through the cut. You know what I mean? So what happens is that, you know, through all that, it was home. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Our elders knew each other. We respected each other. Everybody knew each other. You know what I'm saying? We had a love for each other. You know what I mean? And we don't have it anymore. You know what I'm saying? The buildings is nice, and the people look messed up now. I remember the buildings look messed up, and the people looked nice. You know what I mean? So we got to build up our self-esteem. We got to understand we like looking nice as black people. We like looking nice as colored people. You look at colored people around the world, and everybody on Sunday put on their Sunday best. You know what I mean? It don't matter what culture of black ethnicity it is. You understand? On Sunday we put on our Sunday best. You know what I mean? So we like to look nice. We shouldn't be vilified because we like to look nice and look clean. You know what I mean? Right. You know, but you have to understand that we have to start supplying ourselves with these own things. If anybody knows elders, especially older than me, especially at my age, when we were younger, all the older people made their own clothes. You know what I mean? When you look at them pictures in the 50s and 60s, them people was making their own clothes. You know what I mean? And they looked good.
This one of my brands right here, Flavor King. Flavor King, right. And I got Flavor Queen. That's one of my clothing brands right there. Whenever one of my businesses I have, that's what I do, man. I, like you said, I try to make my own everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, and I try to put people on. I don't it's not about giving a white man a dollar, man. Chasing all them names, man. I make my own name important. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's right. I really live like that.
And I know it for a fact. I was out there with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was out there with you. I know it for a fact. You know what I mean? You know, and you know what? And to see you still going strong with it, because you know what? You facing the odds. You know what I'm saying? You stand fear down the face and kicking in the door. You know what I'm saying? Because there is no fear. When there's faith, there's no fear. And you believe. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And what happens is that you know what, and you getting it done. And that's why you know what I'm saying? That's why we get it. And that's why I'm glad you're on the show today, so New York City knows what's going on, because you inspire somebody here. And you know what I'm saying? And hopefully we get you some outlets here, you know what I'm saying? Some sublets here, so we can get people drinking Philly fruit. Because we all need to drink it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not only because it's healthy, one reason because it's healthy, and another reason because it's feeding black babies. Yeah. That's what we got to understand. When we buy black, we feed black babies. You follow what I'm saying? We making sure they got the milk. We making sure they got Pampers. We making sure they got a roof over their head. That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like seeing the condition of people, you know what I'm saying? Self-sacrifice. We all here for someone else's self-sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying? So let's utilize this. Let's utilize this time. We don't got time to be. What's up, baby? Talk to me.
Hey, Haas, like I feel you on that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta start supporting our own business. We gotta stop complaining about the prices. We gotta stop complaining, because if we go to stores that's the people don't look like us, and we spending a whole lot of money, but we concerned about how much a black business is charging us.
Don't nobody bargain with Gucci.
Yeah,
they never try to bargain with Gucci.
Nobody bargain with Gucci. You gotta pay the price. You gotta pay the whole full price. You ain't no bargaining. You know what I'm saying? So why is it that we gotta bargain? Why we gotta bargain with our own people? Like, come on, man. Like, that's why a lot of black businesses are closing down and losing money, because we not supporting. And then we talk about, it ain't no black business. We gotta stop that, because if it ain't no black businesses, it's because we don't want to spend black dollars with black businesses. We the most business. What people need to understand, how I always say this a lot of times, how this is the realest thing. We the biggest gold mine in this country, black people. We spend the top dollar with every business, with every industry, restaurants, anything you name. The black dollar is the biggest gold mine in this country. We is the economy. Straight up and down, we is the economy. Without our dollar, without our money, without our influence, we could stop a lot of these businesses, and these businesses will plummet without our money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And the thing is,
we gotta put this shit, like, we got everything we saying in here, we gotta put this shit out there. Like, I don't know if y'all putting this on YouTube or how y'all doing it, but we need to be promoting this.
Yeah, I need to share this on YouTube.
For me, on our social medias and everything.
Most definitely. Exactly. And you know what? And we need to continue to do it. Because what happens is that Everywhere he tired of seeing just a reality TV. Everywhere we tired of seeing black men and women on TV looking silly. You know what I mean? Here we got black people.
They ain't got no purpose, nothing. I said they doing nothing on it. They ain't
nothing positive.
We
nothing at all.
Real shit. They get done. They talking about nothing.
When you're talking about value, you know what the definition of value is the regard that something is held to deserve the importance, the worth.
What we talking about is what not what they doing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, creating value. What we're talking about is creating value, right? The answer we're talking about how to create value so that we will buy something from each other. So we got to understand there's three components to value creation, which is the value to the owners, the value to the customers, and the value to the employees. So the owner has to have value. When you're walking through with that product service, you have to own that. You have to say, "Yo, this is value." And people that's buying it from you, they have to say, "Yo, that item or that service is very valuable. We're gonna pay for that." And
exactly,
the people who work for us, we are the workers or the owners. So we gotta work towards that idea and say this is valuable. So now we're gonna sell that to somebody. We're gonna create that, work for that. Without that, we have nothing. So once all those elements and components come together, yo, it's lit. It's a wrap.
Exactly. And see, right now we planting the seed right now. You know, that's what we doing. That's why we got to come together and communicate. You know what I mean? That's why we got to come together and communicate, especially from the different areas that we from. Because what the problem is that we don't like the people from across the street. You know what I mean? We don't like the people from down the block. We don't mess with this one. We don't mess with this one. But we have to mess with each other if we want to be successful. You know what I mean? We have to start dealing with the people from the other side of the project if we want to be successful. We have to start, you know what I'm saying, respecting each other if we want to be successful. You know what I mean? We have to stop trying to size each other up and take from each other if we want to be successful. You know what I mean? Because there's enough money out here being spread around. Every time there's an election, that means money and jobs. That means jobs and money. You know what I'm saying? Businesses. You know what I'm saying? People get jobs and new businesses. You know what I mean? So we understand that, you know what I'm saying? This is what these elections mean. And we got to get involved so that we can take our place, and you know what I'm saying, in American society. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is we taking our place amongst poverty, and have a balanced economy. You got to have an unemployed. And we primarily that unemployed. And the one way to make sure that you remain unemployed is to make sure that say high school diploma required. See, they don't have to put racism and say I don't want you black. They just say high school diploma required, and then what happens is that now 90% of us can't even go get that job. Why? Because 90% of us don't finish high school. You dig what I'm saying? So what happens is that now the other employment stat is what? Now you get criminal record. Now the other 90% of us got criminal records. So now we can't get employment. So what happens is that, you know what I'm saying, you know, the systematics, the matrix that we shifting through, that's making sure that we can't, and it's the lifestyle that we live in that making sure that we can't get to these other accolades in life so that we can actually obtain success. You know what I mean? So what happens is what I'm trying to tell you, you know what I'm saying? You got to take case free. Get away from them cases and get that high school diploma. Because that high school diploma going to at least determine how you going to eat. You ain't going to be able to go no further if you don't at least get that high school diploma. You know what I mean? And they're making it hard if you get that high school diploma. And all these requirements are not even because people are smart. You follow what I'm saying? All these requirements are to make you go through all these hurdles so that you can get to the money. You understand what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. You got to go through hurdles to get to the money. You see what I'm saying? And just like brother, the answer, you know, I work the workforce development, so you understand. I understand. I teach a brother how to get to the money, right or wrong?
Right, bro. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's what I did every day for a living. Teach a brother how to get to the money. Fix his resume. I used to do a lot of stuff in my job. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Brother Wolf. You know what I'm saying? That we wasn't even supposed to. But it was all about making sure these brothers had some food on their table. You follow what I'm saying? Because it's with food on your table, that's how you put down the gun. It's on put on food on your table, that's how you put down the pack. You know what I'm saying? So you got to start learning these other languages. So that, just like Brother Wolf said, you got to start learning these other languages so that you can manifest and so that you can get. All right, you know what I'm saying? So we got the other languages. We have to understand these other languages so that we can start getting this other kind of money. You dig what I'm saying? Because without understanding these other languages, we're not gonna get this other kind of money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you gotta go, brother Wolf, you know what I'm saying? Please say something for you know what I'm saying, before you spin out of here, you know what I'm saying? Because the youth, you know what I'm saying, the message that you're giving is so powerful.
Right. Before I head out, I just want to say, a little bit about my resume. I have a taxi limousine license. I have a commercial driver license to drive trucks. I have a bachelor's degree. I have my OSHA 30. I have many more things. I have my own tools. I'm subcontracting for handiwork, so I can just spin in any direction that I want to go in. I also have an opportunity to go to Cornell to get my PhD. They'll give me a scholarship, and they'll give you a stipend, $3,000, just to do research for 4 years. So that's on the other side. When I was on the corner, Pat, I didn't know no black person ever came down and said, "Yo, bro, I got all this. Don't worry, keep doing this, and that's there for you." They say, "Yo, you got bullets? You got bullets for the gun?" No, I know where he's selling the grams for less at. That's all I heard. Oh, where the hoes at? You know what I'm saying? I ain't hear nothing. I know it was a such thing as a future for me as a young person. I just kept on going down that wrong path. So I'm telling all the young people now and the older people, yo, there's so many opportunities that are there just waiting for you to take it. But many people don't see it. They just say, "Oh, that's all I'm telling you now. You can do anything you want to do. You can be anything you want to be in this life. All you gotta do is work very, very hard for it. And you have to protect it. Protect what you love. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna love it with you. They're not gonna admire your future with you. You have to cradle it. You have to protect it. So that's what I want to say before I leave.
Amen. And that's a fact. You know what? And you know what? To add on to that, we know. To add on to that, is that it's the same way. I'm the change I want to see. I got a master's degree in the streets, but then I got a master's degree in the colleges. You know what I mean? I went and got my bachelor's degree. You know what I mean? Then I got my master's degree. You know what I mean? And then I went and worked in workforce development. And I worked my way from an outreach worker all the way to a supervisor. You know what I mean? I left there, I became a substitute teacher. You know what I mean? I left there, I became a director of social service over a family shelter. You know what I mean? So when you see somebody keep saying, "You know what I mean," and leaning back and forth and talking like you, yeah, but you know what? I put the work in, I took the time out into something else. You know what I mean? To be able to come here and talk to you tonight. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? So, and I ain't switched up. You know what I'm saying? Because, what happens is my personality was already developed. I'm a man. You know what I mean? All I just add on to the information. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is power. And I became more powerful with less money than I had when I had more money and less knowledge. You know what I mean? So what happens is, you know what I'm saying? Knowledge is the key true component of power, brother. And Brother Wolf, I appreciate you coming here today because, you know what I'm saying? It's a long way getting here, brother. You know what I'm saying? You represent change. You know what I'm saying? You represent change. You know what I'm saying? What's up, baby?
I always feel like this is the people. This is why I always tell people, in life, you know what I'm saying, and our biggest goal in life is basically having wisdom, having knowledge, and having understanding. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we search for in life. That's our journey. That's our journey through life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us ain't able to get the understanding, but we able to get the knowledge and obtain it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
A lot of us want to search for more knowledge. You know what I'm saying? When I hear a lot of people say, "What I live for, money. What I live for, material," and I tell them that ain't what you need to live for. You need to live for knowledge and understanding and wisdom, because you need that.
Exactly.
That's why when you get old, we look at. I'll give you a perfect example. Back to scripture. How's we talking about yesterday? Yeah, we can hear you. I go back, back to scripture, like when we talk about Moses. Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Yeah, I go back to scripture though, like when we go back and we talk about Moses. Moses,
right.
He basically went to that mountain. His hair started. He got gray hair. You know what I'm saying? That gray came from wisdom.
Okay, Ron.
You know what I mean? And he went in there and see the information.
Ron about to tap out.
Oh, okay. Salute, Ron. He went in there and seek the information and knowledge. And that's what a lot of people need to understand. We need to start seeking for the knowledge and information and understanding. Stop trying to seek for the money, the cars, the clothes, the women. You know what I'm saying? Because all that come and go, man. All that come and go. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Knowledge, it never leaves you. You know what I'm saying? Understanding,
Exactly.
it never leaves you. But the money, the cars, the clothes, all that come and go, man. We can go homeless
Exactly.
today, tomorrow, man. I seen a lot of
Exactly.
I tell people like this. I seen a lot of homeless men happy than dudes that's rich. There's a lot of dudes that's rich that ain't happy. And when them dudes when they become homeless, and I'm gonna keep it real, Haas, when some of them dudes become homeless, man, they feel at peace, man. When they
Right.
back at the pub, a lot of the brothers, they feel at peace. They don't
Because they ain't
feel
got the
peace with that
pressure.
money. Yeah, they ain't got the pressure, that illusion. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep keeping up. You gotta wake up, get more money. That's pressure, man. That ain't no happiness. That's not reality of somebody looking for a journey of love, man. You got people that leeching off of you. You got people that want what you got. You got people that want to kill you. You got people that want to hurt you. It's all types of forms of devils that come around you when you have money and access.
Exactly.
You not at peace
Exactly.
tonight, man. And I
Exactly.
always heard this, man. I remember Biggie said this a long time ago. He said dying ain't the shit, but it's pleasant. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people find peace when they die. Because it's so much of the pressure. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying, Haas? It's like the pressure you gotta go through. The more money, the more problems. And that's why I tell people, man, be at peace with yourself in life, man. Because the money come and go, man. Be at peace.
Exactly. 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 Yo, big, the answer. You there, baby? Yo, Craig, you can tap out whenever. Be a Wolf. You can tap out whenever you're ready, baby.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm out at 10. No, I'm good. At 10, I'll sign up.
All right. I appreciate you coming, man. This is monumental, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you example. You know what I'm saying? Wolf is an example. Gotti, Wolf is an example. You know what I'm saying? Of redemption, of resurrection. You know what I mean? We both sitting here. You know what I mean? We both sit here by the grace and glory of God. You know what I mean? And what happens is that, you know what I mean? We both here because we love our people, man. That's why we're here. We here because we love our people, man. We not here for no fame. We not here for no show. We here because, you know what I'm saying, what we're doing right now is desperately needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is desperately needed. You know what I mean? Because we watching our people, you know what I'm saying? We watching basically the extermination of our people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what happens is that and you know what? And what happens is if we fighters, you know what I'm saying, then we not will go out with a fight. And the fight now is intellect. We got to exercise intellect. You know what I mean? We got to exercise love. We got to exercise love for each other. We got to exercise respect for each other. You understand what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. You know what I mean? We don't have to be the like I said before, you don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You know what I mean? But you got to love who you are. You know what I'm saying? We the most beautiful people in the world. You know what I mean? We the most beautiful people in the world. We in every shade every hue that there is. You know what I'm saying? From triple light to dark at night. You follow what I'm saying? And what happens is that you gotta love everyone in between. You follow what I'm saying? We all here, baby. You follow what I'm saying? If we got something, you know what? And like I said, I got all that education, and you know what I'm saying? And I still love watermelon. You know what I mean? I still love seeing my people play cards. I still love, you know what I'm saying, the camaraderie we used to have in our community, checkers, everything, you know what I'm saying, everything that goes on in our community, gear bikes, you know what I mean? Everybody, I love that, you know what I mean? And I, I want to feel at home again. I don't feel in my community at home. We got a home anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because we're being invaded. We're being invaded by so many different things. You know what I mean? And and one of the most.
I don't like Haas in the community. And one thing I don't like in the community, Haas.
Get broke.
All right.
Just to add what you're saying before I park real quick. On the real, what both of you are saying is synonymous because things were fine until the 1960s. You know, no matter what we did, it didn't really matter. Violence was not introduced like as far as black on black until the 1960s. You know,
Right.
the black gangs were not able to compete with the Irish and the Italian mafias. Those people made the front page for heinous crimes. They made the front page. When we committed crimes, eventually they didn't even make the front page. They didn't want to publish it because it wasn't violent enough.
Right.
So then we started competing with the mafia about who can be the most violent. We started getting into the wrong things, when alcohol hit our community. So at this point that we living in and looking at it in retrospect, I wasn't even born then.
Right.
How does that affect me? I was born in '86. How does that affect me? When our people just before the '60s was not doing black on black crime. We were staying at home with our families. It was about church or religion or whatever. We were trying to do civil rights, and then we just turned the guns on each other. Now we got the gangs running around, and they're competing with the mafia for who the most violent. And we make the front page every day. Every day, you go to the crime section, it's black people.
That's a fact.
It wasn't like that before 1960. Just know that.
That's a fact.
That's a fact, Wolf. That's a fact, Wolf. And I always say this, Wolf, like you said, the 60s. We go into the late 60s. We went the early 60s, the 50s, the 40s. It's about black economics. We saw it coming. We saw our black businesses. But then when them late 60s came in, you know what I'm saying? When they killed our leaders off, and we was in the civil, it was going to civil rights. The civil rights was gone. So now we got, we got the Black Panthers. We got all that. We got the pimp culture coming in. We got the drug culture that was coming prevalent around the 70s. So now we got a new culture, which was, I'm going to keep it real, Haas. It really was counterproductive to our community because then it led on to the crack generation that came right after in the 80s and the 90s. And then this generation that we got in the 2000s and now in the 2010s going into 2020s. This generation that we got right now, it all boils down to that late 60s generation going into the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, and 2000s, and now. Because basically, we allow these people come in our community, pump our community with all the drugs, pumped our community with the liquor, the alcohol. That's where it all comes from. You ask a dude, how when you start, I always ask dudes all the time, I say, what makes you start going crazy and get to going into being into violence? He said, yo, when I start drinking, I start smoking, you know what I'm saying? I'm start listening to that music. It takes my soul, you know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of times the liquor and the drugs, it does something to our mental and it makes us become violent to our people. So now dealing with dudes that's smoking, you know what I'm saying? Then they drinking with the Hennessy, you know what I'm saying? Which brown liquor is not good for us. If we really want to do the knowledge, that's a poison to us. That's why a lot of the murders is coming because we drinking the brown liquor and we smoking the weed with the brown liquor. So we already charged up. We picking up the hammer. We going in the car. We going to shoot our brother, and then we hitting innocent people because we not caring. We just faded. You know what I'm saying? We faded, so we not caring because it did something alter our minds. So now our minds is altered, and it took control of our bodies and our soul, and now the spirit is gone. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people don't understand that when we had these drugs and these liquor in our bodies, man, it does something to us. That's why a lot of brothers say I'm drug free. Because when you drug free, you got a clear mind, you're thinking before you do something. You know what I'm saying? You don't have nothing altering your mind and make you go out there and just, I'm about to go shoot this dude because he said something to me. Dude probably ain't said nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? Out the term, he might have told you, excuse me, pardon me. You might have took it as a disrespect because you might have accidentally stepped on your sneakers. So because he did that, you go in your whip, you go get the grip, you go right back down on the dude. He might be in the store, you back down in the store, bop, 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 then you drive off. So now you're not thinking, you wake up, you all over the news now. Now you on the run, you run it, they come get you. Now you in life, you doing life in prison. And then when you hear a lot of these people, they tell their story, Haas, they always say, man, I was high when I did that. Oh, salute, Wolf. Yo, Wolf, salute, big bro. But yeah, Haas, like, they always say, yo, my mind was going after I did that, man. We hear that a whole lot of times, Haas, where a lot of dudes will tell you that they didn't mean to do what they did, but because they was faded, because they was drinking and they was smoking and indulging in what they was indulging in, this is what made them to pick up the gun and kill their own people, man. That's why we gotta change this whole thing, because I always say, man, we in a pandemic right now, Haas. This is the thing that gets me upset about what's going on, because we in a pandemic and we got liquor stores open. People can't even go to worship in the church.
Right.
They can't worship in the church. Go on Sunday mornings and get you a bottle of Hennessy. You go in the liquor store and get that. You go in the liquor store and you go to up the block and get the K2 and smoke that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, I would say a lot of times, you know, a lot of this weed that a lot of the youth is smoking, it ain't really weed. They selling you garbage. Half of the time they could be selling you rat poisoning. Half of the time they could be selling you anything under their sink. Mint leaves. You think you smoking weed, but then it's altering your mind. And that's what happened to a lot of these young people. They smoking the wrong stuff, and it's altering their mind, and it's doing something to their mental. So it's making them irrational. It's making them erratic. It's making them turn violent. I look at the George Floyd situation. I look at a lot of these situations where I'm seeing brothers is dealing with substance abuse, alcohol, drugs, and this is why a lot of these situations happen. We get nervous because we tensed up with the stuff that's the substances in our bodies. We ain't supposed to be indulging in these substances. You know what I'm saying? We as herbal people, we deal with the earth. We not supposed to be dealing with herbs that's going to do harm to us. A lot of these herbs ain't the real natural herbs. A lot of these liquor we drinking ain't the right liquor we supposed to be drinking. Hennessy ain't right for us, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of us out here, we picking up that Hennessy bottle, we sipping that Remy Martin, and we getting drunk, and we fucking up, and we going out there to pick up that ratchet.
You're right, and you know, I'm in total agreement with you. You know, I mean, I'm gonna break it down. You know, since I'm gonna break it down from right there where you started in the '60s. You know what I mean? Because one of the things being in the streets, you know what I'm saying, you have to understand, where I was there for the different changes and different eras in terms about the drugs. You know what I mean? I was there. I'm not talking about what I heard. I was there. You know, so but then I studied and I found out how it got there. You know what I mean? So we're gonna talk about how it got there first. You know what I mean? So, in the 1960s, they had a lot of riots in the 60s. They had them from Watts to Chicago to Philadelphia to Harlem to Detroit, all throughout the North. After the deaths of Martin Luther King and after the deaths of Malcolm X, they had all of these, riots. They would just pop off like that. And the reason they would pop off because the people in the community wouldn't stand for injustice. And so what happened was that, at this point in time, the government didn't understand what was going on. So it was like, yo, what's going on? So at the time, Lyndon Johnson was the president. So he created this thing called the Kerner Commission to find out what was going on in the Black community, that, they would ignite like that. Because why did he care? He cared because it was messing with the economy. You know what I mean? Because, so when you have that civil unrest, you know what I mean? What happens is now business doesn't flow. The production of business doesn't flow the way it's supposed to. So they had to find out. So when they found out that the rioters in all these different cities had a deep sense of racial pride. They loved being Black. You know what I mean? They loved being Black. They loved who they were. And what happens was, at the time, there weren't any Black faces on in the media. And they didn't have any Black faces at the news centers and stuff like that. So what they did at that time at the Kerner Commission, they started picking the janitors to go into the Black community so you can get the story, because all the white faces was pushed out. You know what I mean? And so what happened was in the and then there's another key component, in terms about the drugs of the 1960s is in 1965, Bumpy Johnson died. And when Bumpy Johnson died, Harlem became a shopping market for drugs. See, but prior to Bumpy Johnson, when Bumpy Johnson was alive, he made sure that the Italians, didn't control anything in Harlem. He controlled it. And at that time, the drug game was almost like, it was almost undercover. It was undercover, it was there, but it was undercover. It wasn't until after Bumpy Johnson died in '65, the same year Malcolm X, that the drugs became, the Italians no longer had the deal with the formidable adversary that would keep them out of the neighborhood. So then they started flooding in the neighborhood. Actually, when Bumpy Johnson died, that's when we had the first murder, one of the first murders in Harlem by someone from outside of Harlem to murder somebody in Harlem. So now we got the neighborhood riddled with drugs. You know what I mean? You got the neighborhood, you got Harlem. Harlem is central for New York City. Harlem is central for Narcotics USA. And what happens is coming back now at the same time, you got the GIs coming back from Vietnam. So it's aggregate. A lot of things in the community is aggregate. There's a lot of different things coming together. So we got the GIs coming back from Vietnam, and they got the heroin habits. You know what I mean? And heroin is a drug that will make you physically addicted. You know what I mean? And that's why we see so much going on with the pills, with the opiates, because a lot of them are morphine based. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's morphine based is, has the same qualities of heroin. So what happens is that now, you got the heroin in our communities. You know what I'm saying? And we applaud, the men that made the money off the heroin because they were able to make success out of nothing because there were no opportunities. At that point in time in Harlem, the numbers men and the hustlers worked side by side. They banked each other. When the number man was short, the hustlers banked the number man. When the hustlers were short, the number man's banked the hustlers. If you're not familiar with the numbers is this thing called lotto. You know what I mean? They took the lottery system. The numbers was actually the lottery system. It was a private lottery in the community. So, and when they took that, so now we're dealing with the drugs in the community. So now when they come with the drugs in the community, right behind the riots and the Kerner Commission, they come with the drugs in the community. Now what happens is that we also starting to get into the media as well. So now all of a sudden we have shows like Good Times, we have shows like Sanford and Son, we have shows like the Jeffersons, and those are the television shows. And then at the same time, we have the blaxploitation era when now we're in the movies. So we have like Cotton Comes to Harlem, Superfly, Shaft, and the like what we call the blaxploitation era. But also then we have coming in mainstream culture, we have things like Saturday Night Live, and we have all these variations of the culture in America changing, from being a more civil, upstanding culture to, letting in a lot of different things. So what happens is that now we got the heroin prevalent in our community. And the heroin, the heroin was in our community prior to, in the 60s and in the 50s. You know what I mean? But now it's running rapid, But what happens is that eventually, the next generation, when they see a drug destroy the prior generation, just like everybody here now, everybody says the crackheads, they vilify and say, oh no, we're not messing with that. You know what I mean? But what happens is the drug that they picked up is just as bad as the drug that you denounced. So what happens is that now we have the era with the dust era. Many people forget about the dust era. In the dust era, a lot of people made a lot of money in the dust era. You know what I mean? And angel dust was smoked like on mint leaves. They put it on mint leaves. Out in DC, they call it the love boat. They put it on bullshit weed. You know what I mean? So and this is in DC. In Cali, they call it sherm. You know what I mean? So now we got this dust era. You know what I mean? And the dust era got everybody bugging out, doing the same exact thing. You know what I mean? Destroying families, destroying lives. So now you got the era. You know what I mean? The next generation says we're not messing with that. So you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? We got the dust era, we got the cocaine era. Now the difference with the cocaine era was more expensive drug. See, cocaine at that time was a very expensive drug. You know what I mean? So what happens was that only the real players will have real money because all of the players was really making their money off the heroin, and then, what I'm saying, and the cocaine was just like was like a side hustle. It's called the revenue stream in economics. You know what I mean? So this revenue stream brought in the cocaine era. So the cocaine era, what I'm saying, was, like I said, was amongst the big players, and it came associated with disco era. You know what I mean? Now we talking about the 1980s. We talking about the 80s right now. We left the 70s with the heroin, the 60s and the 70s with the heroin. Now we talking about the 1980s. And we got cocaine and dust flowing everywhere. You know what I mean? Angel dust and cocaine, PCP, some people call it. You know what I mean? All right, so now what happens is that now the dust era, you know what I mean? People see how people's bugging up the dust era, so the next generation, you know what I mean? Now they embrace the cocaine. Now we're getting into the crack. So now what happens is this cocaine era, you know what I mean? Where it was, people was cooking it up, and that's when we got Richard Pryor with the freebase. You know what I mean? Freebase, it looks like right now what y'all young people use hookah. You know what I mean? It's almost like they're based primarily the same exact concept. Only difference is that they cook with cocaine or you put the charcoal at. You know what I mean? So what happens is that now you got the freebase era. You know what I mean? Because people are cooking up the cocaine. You know what I mean? So now they're cooking up the cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Now what happens is that you can't buy cocaine at $10 and $20. You got to be spending hundreds of dollars to buy it. You got to be spending $300, $200, and things like that. You know what I mean? About these things at the time they used to call them 8 balls and stuff like that. So what happens is this time, you know what I mean? At this point in time, you know what I mean? This, crack is coming in synonymously at the same time. And so now you got the crack era, because the cocaine era took over. I mean, the crack era took over the cocaine era because what happens is
don't forget when the crack era came up, that's when the gun game started coming into play.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get to all that, you know what I mean, and talk about the guns and stuff like that, the gun game always been in the play, but what happens is that now the stick up kid had an income, you know what I mean? So now, because what happens is the stick up kid prior to the we got multiple facets in the black community. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they don't explain this to you correctly. So you had the stick up kid, and the stick up kid, they used to rob the pimps. You know what I mean? So the pimps was the primary target of the stick up kids. You know what I mean? And so because the pimps couldn't tell, who's going to listen to the pimp. So what happens is that now, the stick up in the robberies, the bank robbers, you know what I mean? Those dudes, because we got to understand something that, at this point in time, drugs wasn't prevalent, and the most people that had the drugs were actually most powerful people in the community. You know what I mean? So what happens is that now when this drug era, when the market starts getting open and everyone starts selling crack, now, like you said, the guns come in. Because now, you know what I mean, instead of, people robbing, but people still doing stick-ups, but now people are fighting for territory. It's a lot of different things. People were fighting over girls, you know what I mean, over egos. It was a lot of different things, you had to be there to know, you know what I mean? And, a lot of times, this time era is glorified and, and sanitized in a way to make, to instill incentive in the young people is, this is the way, this is the route, it's the way you should go. And the only thing you can take from that era is that the end, the resiliency of saying that I won't be broke. You know what I mean? Because, we all, whether it's that era or this era, we all faced with the situation of, young people with nothing trying to make something. You know what I mean?
It's the truth, Haas. Like, if you look at this era, it's the same that dudes in the crack era went through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where basically we may see another 3-strike law, maybe more crazy than the first one that happened in the late 90s. You know what I'm saying? And let's look at that. Let's look at that. Like that whole law came in effect off of you know, young kids killing kids, you know, kids killing kids. Back then, it was kids killing kids, just like it now in today's society is kids killing kids. The cycle always repeats. You know what I'm saying, huh? And that's why we trying to stop it because it's another generation coming right after this generation. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we gotta get these babies before they get to this age where these other generations is at right now. Cause these
And that's why. But I want to add on to what you're saying. You know, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want to stay right there because I want to stay right there. What happens is in the 90s. Now we got us to understand something about governmental policy. So you always hear about they talk about all these programs, you know, they have for the kids to play ball, midnight basketball. And you've heard of those things in the past that you know that they have for young people. You know what I mean? By the 90s, governmental policy says that, you know, that's a waste of time. You know what I mean? You know, by the 90s, they were calling us predator children. You know, that's why you remember the reference to children. You know what I mean? By the 90s, they were calling us they had some kind of nefarious moniker, you know, in terms of talking about young black men. You know what I mean? But let me explain something to you about Hollywood. All you have to do is look at RoboCop 2, right? In a RoboCop 2, they show you a young boy who's a drug dealer. You know what I mean? So, you know, and you know what happens is that, you know, so you know, it was almost like mirroring what was going on in the street. Almost like, you know, I would say we had a premonition. They knew what was going to happen. I'm not sure if that's the case, but I mean, it would seem to be because it seems that in some of that RoboCop movie era, you know, at the same time period, it was not with young people in the streets selling drugs, you know, and unfortunately, so we go to the we in the 80s now, like we got the guns. We got the guns, and why do we have the guns? Because we have copious amounts of money in the street. So when copious amounts of money in the street, people are able to, you know, arm themselves, you know, live out, do things that they wouldn't normally do if they didn't have any money. So now, you know, with all of these guns, and you know, people itching to use them and find, you know, like the people inside those crews, you know, find a reason to want to use them to decrease their value, you know what I mean? Because a lot of, in terms about, you know, in the streets, you have these two things, that either you're an earner or you're a hitter. Simple way, another way of saying it, either you make money or you take money. Simple as that. You know what I mean? So what happens is when the money takers become part of the salary, you know, they part of the economy, you know, they have to make themselves viable in terms about, you know, creating, you know, friction, you know what I'm saying? To create necessity. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So they create, you know, make sure that they're necessary, a necessary component in the system. You know what I mean? Some of these things were needed, you know what I mean, regards to, you know, executing what, you know, some people call street justice. You know what I mean? And some of these things were redundant and over exaggerated, you know, for creates necessity. You know what I mean? For the position. You know what I mean? So we breaking down this thing, you know, like, and we're not speaking on names. We speak understanding the culture, because this is the most important, that we understand the mindset. You know, like, I'm a man. I can empathize with a woman being pregnant. I can, you know what I'm saying? I have 3 children. I have 2 grandchildren. So I know that a woman puts her life on the line to have a child. I can empathize with her. I can understand the different route, the trimesters and things of that nature. But I could never truly experience being pregnant. I could never really ever say I know what it is to be pregnant. And that's the same thing when we talking about this time era. You can look back at it, but you can't do a comparative analysis of it, because you have to have that mindset. You know what I mean? And, you know, in portion, you know what I mean? Just because you come from, you say maybe 345 Livonia Ave, or because you live at 10606, 160th Street, or because you live at 400 Brook, or because you live at 681 Cortland. You know what I
It's the
mean?
same. It's the
Because you live in
same. It's the same
175
conditions.
Alexander.
It's
Exactly.
it's the same conditions. Huh? Like one thing I say, like what I see the youth going through is the same I seen the dudes in my generation going through, and what we was all going through, and same with your generation, Haas, is that you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of young dudes, man, that want better for their life, man, but they tired of seeing they mother struggling. You know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying? They want to get a mother finer things. So it's like, yo, listen, man, I see my mother struggling. I got a kid. You know what I mean? I gotta take care of my seed, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do the best, you know, trying to get a job, trying to be positive. But it's like I see all the dudes up the block with the cars, with the girls, with the money, and that's what makes young that gets the young mind corrupted. The cars, the money, and the women. You get
But
what I'm
I'm explaining to you what it is.
saying?
Let me explain
Yeah,
to you what that is, though. That's because we only gonna be here for that long.
that's a
That's
fact.
why.
That's a fact.
That's why.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And if you spoke to any one of those brothers, especially from the older generations, you know what they would have told you?
Mm-hmm.
Don't mess with this.
Fact.
That's what they would have told you. They would
Fact.
have said, here's somebody go to school.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's what they would have told you. They would have said, "See, was on. This is not. What happens is street culture became black culture. Street culture is not black culture. Street
That's a fact.
culture is a subcomponent of black culture, a
No,
compartment of black culture,
that's a
not
fact.
black culture. You
That's a
understand what I'm
fact.
saying? And we've
That's a fact.
confused that. You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We have that in confusion. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because now to be black as a black man, you got to carry a gun. You got to have 100 women. You got to be getting $1 million in some illegal type of way of film or fashion. You follow what I'm saying? And that's not the steps to manhood. You know what I'm saying? You make babies all around town and don't take care of them. I take care of my children. I took care of all of my children. I raised two of them. One I wasn't able to raise, but all of them, they know me. I was there. I got out of prison. The first thing I did was look for my children. You know what I mean? So, like I said, when I say I walk it like I talk it, I walk it like I talk it. You know what I mean? Because I ain't fair. I wasn't looking for a girl. I wasn't looking to say, oh, I gotta go get some sex or this, that, and the other. I say, yo, I gotta go get my kids. You follow what I'm saying? I said that's first and foremost. You know what I mean? Anything else could wait. You know what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying? I was a man, so I was young man, when I was raised in these streets, I was raised to be responsible. You know what I mean? And in this street game, you play for keeps. And the difference between me and a lot of other young men is I wasn't breaking my mama heart. And a lot of y'all out here breaking your mama heart. She praying on her knees every time you walk out that house. You're breaking mama and grandmama. They praying. They waiting for you to come home. They worrying about you.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? They worrying about whether the police gonna take you down or somebody that look like you gonna take you down.
That's a fact.
This ain't the way. You know what I
That's
mean? I'm saying this because I love you. You know what I mean? You don't want to be working with them wool blankets, sitting with that plastic mattress, laying on that hard concrete slab. You don't want to eat off a tray. You know what I mean? You don't want to look up at the sky and wonder if your children look up at the sky at the same time. You know what I mean?
hmm
You don't want to be limited to a 15-minute phone call conversation with your child. You know what I mean?
That's
You
true.
don't want to. You know what I mean? You don't want your life taken away from you. Your child got to be out by themselves. You know that's the results. Or another thing, or these streets put you in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or these streets have you running around here bugging out.
Yeah.
You
That's
know
true.
that's the results. Or these streets have you out here committing suicide.
That's a fact.
That's the
Hey,
results. What's up,
I
baby?
see a lot of my friends, right? I got a lot of friends. I got a couple friends that got philosophy bags, you know what I mean? That been
Right,
shot 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. I got
right.
friends that is in wheelchairs. I got friends that's not here. I got friends that got so hot they started using their own product. You know what I'm saying? And these are the things that happens in this lifestyle that a lot of young boys want to get involved in. And I always say, this ain't it, man. This ain't cool. This right now, I think I'm gonna keep it real, Haas, and I say this, man. Being smart is cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Getting a job is cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your family is cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's gangster in my opinion. I think anybody that take care of their
Mine
family,
too.
you know what I'm saying? And that's why I say like all this glamorizing, the materialism and all the negativity, man, that ain't it, man. And I always say, man, the youth, we need to straight them away from this, man, because this is a passage that gets we all get caught up in the illusion. You know what I'm saying? When we young, we get caught up in the illusion and the hype. But when we get older, we start getting more wiser. You understand what I'm saying? And things start happening to us, man. You know what I'm saying? We start to understand that it's ain't it. You know what I'm saying? How like I said on the show last night, man. I've had near death experience. I had experience where things could have happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Where I remember one time, Haas, I was with my mans and I dapped him up, Haas. I kid you not. I dapped him up. I was dirty. And the lucky thing that happened, my boy ran from the police. I thought the police was coming to stop me, Haas. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, it's over for me, man. They gonna lock me up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I always say, you know, the things that I took chances, man, it was somebody watching over me that protected me so much that I'm here to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? That I'm here to speak because I was given second chances, man. I was given chances. And this time I said, when I was basically, you know, starting to see what I was gonna do in my life, man. You know what I'm saying? And when I was going to school and all that, and I was really like at a crossroads, you know what I'm saying? It was like I was
Right.
trying to do music. I was trying to do, you know, seeing what I could do. You know what I'm saying? My cousin, you know, he was calling me and he's like, yo, man, come out here to PA, man. And I was like, yo, it's something I gotta do, man. And when I got to YouTube, you know what I'm saying, and I saw this was my call, and I was like, and I told my cousin this. I said, "Yo, man, I think this was the best thing I ever did. This saved my life here, man. Because I'm talking to somebody that was me once. You know what I'm saying? That could understand
Right.
what I was going through at them young ages, man, and having my back against the wall, feeling the system was against me. You know what I'm saying? And not and losing hope and faith. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been times I lost faith. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, that's a lot of us, it happens to us that we all lose faith. You know what I'm saying? And we start trying to gain love and appreciation from the dark sides of the road. You understand what I'm saying? And we start feeling that the streets, they give us this hug, right? When we first come outside,
Right.
they give us this hug, say, come out here. And then you
Right.
start seeing the other side of the streets, and you start seeing that it
It's
ain't no
reality.
love out here. You know what I'm saying? This
It's
shit is
right, baby.
this shit is like a one night stand with a female because it ain't no love. Because she gonna be with the next dude and the next dude and the next dude. You know what I'm saying? But because
Exactly.
we feel that it's like, oh yeah, man, we done did it. You start feeling lonely. You start feeling like depressed. You start feeling them feelings and regrets. A lot of dudes feel regrets. That's why I always tell the youth, man, we all feel regrets of what we done. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that I want to take back that I did, and I repent every night, man. To say I want to right my wrongs and do better and be a better man, so that the youth and even my own children could see that I'm trying to do right and try to be better.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And like we all work in progresses, Haas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're not perfect. You know what I mean? A
That's
lot
right.
of us are not perfect. But at the
That's
end of the
right.
day, we growing as a people, man. You know what I'm saying? And we trying to help and stray the youth the right way, man. You know what I mean? I see a lot of dudes glorify this life, man. I see dudes that I look at that I grew up with, and I say to myself, man, a lot of y'all dudes is lucky, man. You know what I'm saying? If I had what y'all
Right.
dudes had, man, and I would take those advantages that some of y'all dudes would have took, man, I would be doing it better. I would be doing it different. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I'm glad that I'm doing it different now. But when I see dudes like taking their life for granted, I say, man, it's time to do better, man. You know what I'm saying? I tell all my homies that, man. I say, man, we all glorifying the streets all day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When it's nothing to glorify, man. It's pain out there, man. It's people losing people every day, man. Every day.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's another dude that I mean, and I'm gonna keep it real, Haas. I like last year, it was a couple people I knew that got killed, man. And like I kept hearing about, oh, this one got killed, that one got killed, man. And like I say, yo, Haas, man, I'm so, you know how you say, like, consumed with death, man, that right now I can't even count how many funerals I've been to. You know what I mean? I can't even count how many people I know that's dead. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, man, I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired of hearing about death, man. I want to hear about life. Life is beautiful. You know what I'm saying, Haas? And that's why I said that on the show last night. That life is beautiful, man. When you can hear the birds chirping, and you could feel, you know, the sun beaming on your face. That's a beautiful feeling, man.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
I tell people all the time, man, be happy to be at peace, man. Positive energy brings positive light to you. You know what I'm saying? Negative energy gonna always have that dark cloud. You know what I'm saying? It was many times that I always felt there was a dark cloud over me, man. Now that I feel, you know, relieved, I stopped chilling with certain dudes that I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I don't love them. You know what I'm saying, Haas? It's just that we can't coincide because I'm not doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not living that lawless life no more. I'm living a righteous path in life. And I'm always like, and I'm gonna keep it real, Haas. It's been many a times that dudes done came to me and was like, yo, bro, man, you need to come out here and get some of this money, man. Fuck that YouTube shit. And I'm telling them, man, nah, man, I'd rather do without. You know what I'm saying? Then go out there and do what you're doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, man, where's that leading us? Nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Where's that leading the children? Nowhere, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes that's coming up, they looking at us. They looking at us. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's all generations. You always have those young people that's going to look at you as kids. And then when they get a little older, when they get in their teens, they start emulating you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people, man, it's like, I don't feel proud, man. I see a lot of the young dudes that I basically saw me, Haas. You know what I'm saying? Saw me drinking, smoking. You know what I'm saying? Saw me doing all that lawless shit. I started seeing them when they got of age, started doing that. I say, man, that ain't you. You know what I'm saying? Because you could tell peer pressure. You could tell people just following the trend.
Right.
And that's why I say a lot of times, man, we gotta do better, man. We gotta give better trends to these youth. We gotta give better thoughts to these youth, man. Because at the end of the day, man, we are own judge and we are own jury, and we are the creator of our characters.
That's right. That's
and
right.
We gotta stand on what we put out there in the universe. Because there's people that looking at us that's basically saying, I want to be just like him. Nah, man, you don't want to be like me, shorty. I always look at that Cool G Rap video and Road to Riches when he said, yo, shorty, you don't want to be a gangster. And that's real. You know.
And that's a fact. And you know what? And I'm gonna add on to what you're saying right now, good brother, because what you're saying is one of the main reasons I'm here. You know, because I'm not here to glorify, you know, a lifestyle that could, ultimately cause you nothing but pain. You know what I mean? Ultimately, be, the fork in the road, and you see why to lead to your demise. You know what I mean? This is serious, like you say, the deaths. It's one of the things I experienced in my life, growing up is like being at a funeral, and then especially growing up in Harlem, and it's at the funeral that you realize that somebody that you knew somebody else that you knew. You're like, oh, I didn't know you knew him. Then you're like, oh wow, everybody outside the funeral, laughing, grouping up, laughing, reminiscing and things, And then when you go inside that funeral and you see your friend laying there dead, looking like a paper mache, cardboard, her not looking the same way we recognize him. You know what I mean? Ain't no more laughing. Ain't nothing but crying. Ain't nothing but tears when you see your best friend's mother crying. You know what I'm saying? When you see them, you know what I'm saying? When you at a funeral, and, the last time you saw your friend, y'all just had the you know, 2 floors in the Hilton. You know what I mean? 2 floors. I got 2 floors in the Hilton. You know, everybody got their own rooms. We chilling. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and then the next thing you know, we driving, you know, 6, 7 cars deep, going to parties, doing this, that, and that. You know, the next thing you know, you see him in a pine box. You know, with the mink on, with the jewelry on. You know what I mean? And it's like it all go back in the box, baby. You know what I mean? So, you know, all this ain't, you know, you looking for a high. You looking for a high. See, a lot of people want their money in a wave. But I'm gonna tell you, like Junior told me from 97. He said, I'd rather my money in the drip. You know, you know. And I tell you exactly who told me, because the jewels and the wisdom, I could sit here and quote Nietzsche. I could sit here and quote Aristotle. You know what I mean? But I'd rather quote Nola Rutledge, you know. And Nola Rutledge told me, she said, save that money for the lawyers. You know. I'd rather quote Diane Horton. You know, she told me to pay attention. You know. Those people's the reason why I'm still here. You know. When you look at all them glamorous and all the minks and all that, there's people behind that. You know what I mean? There's people behind those scenes. There's people that the people really touch. There's people that really love them. You know what I mean? And a lot of them people ain't in the same positions no more. You know what I mean? And what happens is that, you know, I'm here to warn you. Yeah, it is cool to be, it is fly to be smart, because I got more power. I got more power being smart than I ever had just having money. You know?
That's a fact, Oz.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say, you know, Oz, like when I look at it today, you know what I'm saying, and I look at, you know, like you said, Oz, all that's going back in the box. You know what I'm saying? All that, what a lot of the young dudes don't understand, man, is that you playing Russian roulette with your life every day you step off that porch. You know what I'm saying? All you doing is adding another clip, another bullet in the chamber, another bullet, and another bullet, and another bullet, and another bullet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You adding more bullets in the chamber, but you still playing Russian roulette with your life.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't, you know, do that and think you gonna live, man. Because all this is an illusion, man. All this fades away, man. All this
That's
fades
right.
away. You know what I'm saying? How long you could live your life thinking that the fast life gonna still be here. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff goes, man. It comes and goes, man. And that's the fallacy that a lot of these young people don't understand, man. That all this comes and goes. Yeah, it looks glamorous in the beginning. It's always gonna look glamorous in the movies. It's always gonna look glamorous in the videos. It's always gonna look glamorous when you see it outside. But then when you get involved in it, it's not glamorous no more.
That's
Because
right.
now you got to worry about dudes robbing you. Now you got to worry about dudes harming you. Now you got to worry about your family protection. Now you got to worry about, you know, the police. How many police you got to pay off? You got to worry about all this. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand
Exactly.
when you lucky to walk away, just walk away. You know what I'm saying? But if you keep playing Russian roulette, the problem ain't gonna never end, man. You're gonna keep adding more bullets in the chamber.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I always believe, man, we had more. I always say this to my boys. I said, we had more when we had nothing. I tell them that all the time. When you ain't got nothing, you got more. You got love, you got life, you got happiness. But when you got it all, you ain't got that. You got pain, you got agony, you got drama, you got hate, you got envy, you got jealousy, you got vanity, you got lust.
Exactly. Exactly, my brother.
Nothing, and I'm gonna keep it real. Nothing good, and I tell dudes, man, nothing good come out of the fast life. Drugs, alcohol, sex, jail. Nothing. Nothing come good out of that, man.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you like this, right, baby? You know, I'm gonna tell you like this. You know, and we had a good one. This one. You know, when we gonna expand on this. You know, because we gonna go in. You know, we gonna keep this going. You know what I mean? But we gonna wrap this one up for the night. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you in the words of Mr. Robert Conyers. You know what I mean? From Brownsville. You know what I mean? And Mr. Robert Conyers said, life will give you the test before it give you the lesson. You know what I mean? See, and that's what I mean when I say, I can sit here and quote Freud. I can sit here and quote a lot of, whoever, people want to, acknowledge as being philosophers. But nothing beats the philosophy that I heard in these streets from my elders. You know what I mean? What I learned from my elders is the reason why I'm still here. And it's the reason why I'm here to be able to talk to y'all tonight. Because, I'm here because I love y'all. I love you, but I love you, Bulletz. I love all of you. Because y'all is me. Y'all are me. Y'all are me. And you know what I mean? And and I hope that y'all become better than me. You know what I mean? Way better than me. You know what I mean? I hope that you avoid a lot of the pain that I had to endure to be here to talk to you tonight. Because it's what you said. You know what I mean? So a lot of those pictures, when I put up there, and this thing of ours, on my page, there's a lot of pain and a lot of love in them pictures. You know what I mean? And I don't take them lightly. And and the people in the pictures, I got a history with, I got a love one, I got a bond with that, that doesn't change to today. Even though I'm not involved with that life anymore. But that those relationships, and that's what we build in relationships. And you got to build relationships, and that's what'll last a lifetime, man. You can't get no money with nobody if you don't trust them.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So most important thing, if you want to get some money, man, you have to trust the people that you with, baby. You know what I mean? And as simple as that. You know what I mean? And and you gotta get these three things in line, man. I'm gonna say this when the night is over. You gotta get your mind, your body, and your soul right. You know what I mean? And Bulletz, and until next time, baby, you know what I'm saying? We sign off, we're gonna drop a little bit more of this street knowledge, this real street knowledge. You know what I mean? How to keep you out the penitentiaries. You know what I mean? We're gonna teach you, you know what I mean? How to keep you out the mental health clinics, how to keep you off that welfare line, baby. You did what I'm saying? Because that's what this is about, We got brothers like Ron Murder, we got brothers like Big Wolf, we got brothers like The Answer, you know what I mean? We got brothers on here, we got brothers like you, Bulletz Gotti, you know what I mean? Because that's what you are, you know what I mean? You Bulletz Gotti, we working to build the nation. We working to build. We uplift the minds of our people, man. You know what I mean? I'm saying, and I appreciate bringing here me tonight, and we're gonna be continuing. We're gonna
I
continue.
appreciate you too, big bro, and that's why tonight, man. I said I'm gonna let Haas take over. You know what I'm saying? I fell back because one thing I say, man, big bro, you always drop them gems, and I think the people need to hear from big bro because like we all got a testimony, but
Right.
what a lot of people don't understand, and for people that's watching, Haas got an either better testimony that what people won't understand further down the line. But every time we do these lives, it's a story that's being brought with it, and it's pain and it's love and it's happiness and it's passion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what we gotta bring to our people, passion, man.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say this before we sign off, baby. I'm gonna give you. We often refer. My comrade. My close friends. Baby J. You know what I mean? Jermaine, lots of people mispronounce his name, Baby Maine. That's not his name. His name was Jermaine. You know what I mean? And we called him Baby J. And that was a nickname. Mostly we called him Maine. And he was loved in his community. He respected the people in his community. He didn't smoke. He didn't drink. You know what I mean? So that's just to give you an insight on a gangster. You know what I mean? That contradicts, conventional wisdom, what people believe what gangster is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't drink alcohol and he ain't smoke reefer. You know what I mean? So, he always had a clear mind. You know what I mean? And he was a genuine soul, and he was a genuine heart. And he loved if he loved you, man, there was nothing stopping him. You know what I mean? And and I'm gonna give you some more, information about my brother because I want to balance the story. The story, they got to, they, and the imagery, that when people will associate him with him, they make him look to me as soon as they make him look a monster. You know what I mean? And one of the reasons why I started this thing about was because, you know, I don't, I saw certain pages that they were putting his picture next to his adversary. You know what I mean? And I didn't appreciate that. You know what I mean? And we're gonna get into more of that, and then in the next couple episodes as we go forward. But that's that was the primary reason for why I started this thing about was because there were a lot of pictures, of brothers, on other pages that the people didn't know. And they got the wrong information, they got the wrong block, they got the wrong names, they got the wrong everything. Right? Like they saying RS, they got some people they killing them off and they post saying it's RIP and they still here. You know what I mean? So that a lot of those people, those pictures I know personally. So being that I know them personally, I thought it was my duty to try to give some balance to the story. And that's why even, I think it's my duty in regards to giving some balance to the Jermaine story. Just so that, the youth, realize that, that, to take that imagery and, know that that person was a good person and know that that person was loved. You know what I mean? And I love him. You know what I mean? He right here in my heart. You know what I mean? He right here. And I'm always gonna honor his name. I'm always gonna respect his mother, his daughter, his family, you know, his brothers. You know what I mean? You know, and I said brothers. You know what I mean? And we gonna leave it there for the night. All right?
Yeah. So salute to my big bro, Haas, man. Yo, Haas, I appreciate you, family. You already know, man. Signing off, man. We gonna do this again, man. Thursday, me and Haas gonna do this, the first episode of this thing of ours. Hopefully
That's
we
right.
do it on my big boy. You know what I'm saying? They get me off of that strike, and we gonna do it over there. And then we gonna do Saturday night community building. Me and Haas. You know what I'm saying? I love doing these community building panels because we get to talk about what we need to do with the community. So salute to my brother Haas. Salute to everybody. Y'all have a blessed evening, a blessed night. Peace.